What's up, Go enthusiasts? Recently, Zhang Ying won the Hupu Goddess contest. It's basically a popularity contest sponsored by the Chinese sports forum Hupu. It's not just between Go players, it features female celebrities from all sorts of fields: singers, actresses, athletes, and Go live streamers. Shan Ying is extremely popular in China. Her live stream is even bigger than Keju's. Her result here is reflected by that. She had dominant round wins in all of the little popularity contests along the way to win this contest and become the 8th Hupu goddess. In her statement after winning the award, she thanked her fans, said she's honored to win, etc., etc. And then she admitted she's not a very good Go player. She said she just enjoys playing and she wants to promote Go to more people with her live streams. It was surprising to me to hear a Chinese professional Tudan player say they aren't very good, because the Chinese professional system is well known for having a very difficult professional qualification. Many Chinese players who become pro are already world class at the moment that they turn 1 Dan professional. Zhang Ying, a 2 Dan professional here, hasn't had the greatest results in her career, but how bad can she really be? Well, today we're going to look at a game she played against Rui Naiwei, the greatest female player of all time by results, at least so far. I'm still waiting for Choi Zhang to surpass her, but Rui Naiwei in the early 2000s was on equal footing or better than almost all of her male counterparts, or perhaps all. She won a couple of Korean domestic competitions open to males as well, placed top 4 in a world championship open to males as well. This game was played in 2021 in the Chinese Women's League. Rui Naiwei is past her prime at this point, but still a formidable player by all respects. Zhang Ying plays black, Rui Naiwei plays white. Zhang Ying starts with a mini Chinese. Rui Naiwei plays the common answer to the mini Chinese these days, just waiting to make an invasion on the right side later. Later is now. This is popular among pros, not at the highest level. I've actually seen it a few times. The one space jump by black there is preparing to attack this one white high approach as hard as possible, and white's responses are trying to make a very light and flexible shape to just defend and float in this area. When white plays this hane, black can't endure tiger's mouth by white. It's apparently too good of a shape, so black plays peep, and Zhang Ying was definitely prepared and had seen this in AI when she jumped back on the second line. Normal human move here is to play the diagonal to the third line, and I don't really understand what this move gains in particular in comparison. However, an aggressive player would love to play it as long as they know it isn't bad. Because this move is very concretely saying, hey, white, you do not get your base. Ain't no way this white is going to live locally, you have to run. So white runs. Rui Naiwei makes a nice move into the center, but it leaves something of a vital point, which Zhang Ying tries to strike. Rui Naiwei pushes, asking Zhang Ying to defend that stone, and she jumps back, and Rui Naiwei pushes again. The point of the strike, Zhang Ying's hitting the vital point, is to annoy Wei over these cuts. She has 2 cuts here, another cut with the knight's move. It looks like it might be a bit of a pain to connect that shape. Zhang Ying, though, she plays here. It's not a very graceful move. It looks a little clumsy, a little slow, and importantly, it doesn't really connect to that original vital point move, the move that was supposed to highlight the white weaknesses. I think it would have been better, for sure, to play here, and if white would play on this side, you can harass this white group by trying to take something on the bottom. The meaning of this move is rather than harassing from the perspective of the bottom, you will try to harass from the perspective of the right. Building a moyo is a favorite pastime of many aggressive players, but in this case, it doesn't look very easy to do, especially when white plays this wedge. Zhang Ying actually makes a second mistake. The reason why she played that, she thought it would allow her to play this move. And Rui Naiwei shows why it doesn't. She plays diagonal move, pressing these 4 black stones down lest they be surrounded and attacked themselves, and then this Atari and this attachment across. Black needs to cut this, and she exchanges the forcing move here to help her do that, but you notice in doing so she loses the cuts against the white shape. Even after this, white can play Atari, and black must answer, and white simply makes a tiger's mouth, like so. This result is disaster for black. All of her little mistakes have compounded together, and ultimately we end up in a situation where black was hoping to attack this white group and gain something on the right side. White has already put a group there that's not going to die and shown black that she isn't going to get any territory in that area from this attacking. Even as white has done this, it's not like she just made 2 weak groups and is now going to get double attack. The black stones in the center, which Zhang Ying had thought that this extending move was going to defend very efficiently, they look very lonely. And while they defend themselves, it seems like white will get enough time to take care of all of her groups. Ultimately, this side of the board where black had the initial 2 stones looks hardly any better for black than white. It's a disaster of an opening. But the game continues. Zhang Ying peeps, pulls back, forces Rui Naiwei to connect like this, and saves her stones in the center, running them out. Just because you have a bad first few moves doesn't mean you can't still hope to come back. And when Rui Naiwei plays here, Zhang Ying continues with actually some very good attacking skill. She plays this peeping move first. This is hoping to protect the 5 stones on the bottom in Sente. If white will just answer, then black can take control against these 5 stones and then use her attacking power from them to try to make a surround on these white stones in the corner, on the white stone in the bottom left corner. In general, white can become busy. So Rui Naiwei plays the very best move, this 2-space. This was very impressive to me when I saw that it was the very best move. I actually thought it was a mistake when I reviewed on my own. I didn't quite think that it was the most efficient area to play, but indeed these 5 stones were very important to defend, as it leaves counter pressure available to white on the black stones in the center afterwards. Black has to run with these stones. She can't continue by cutting on the bottom, as you'd like to after your peep is ignored, because when white extends here, not only is it a threat to ladder this 1 stone, but it's also a threat to surround the black. Black is just going to get split and in huge trouble here. So black jump is correct, and Rui Naiwei gets to come back and fix this peeping cut. Black plays the lean. Zhang Ying is a very aggressive attacker. She's thinking directly wouldn't quite be possible to surround these white stones, but indirectly she can gain enough power to make a serious attack. If after this Rui Naiwei answers, and after this next lean Rui Naiwei answers as well, Zhang Ying has prepared to take the base. She's saying, hey, you can't get an eye in the corner. You have to run through here, but I already have stones set up. How are you going to save this group comfortably? And it's a very difficult question for Rui Naiwei to answer. In fact, it would probably have been better than answering and allowing Zhang Ying to set up her favorite type of position to simply go back and fix this white group right away. At least that's what I would do. Answering a couple times like this has given Zhang Ying an initiative, a clear target, and Rui Naiwei continues to not play the most precise moves when she pushes through here. Zhang Ying can simply block here, and Rui Naiwei, as if she suddenly realized that she was not going down the correct path, plays a completely unrelated looking move of this kick. Zhang Ying can simply push through, connect, and it's clear here that white's connected shape has no potential eyes, and in general, nothing has been done but to solidify the black shape on the outside there and the black shape on the outside here. I think maybe Rui Naiwei had some kind of a misread related to this variation, where if it goes like this and like this, white is now connected in Gote with no eyes, and she may have feared that there would be some crazy strike like this that just kills the white group entirely. So she tried to make sure that she could save at least in Sente, make sure that her group was well connected, but she has to use this next move to run to save her white group, or she's going to be in big, big trouble. So she runs like this with a knight's move. Zhang Ying pushes one time. That was to be able to protect the potential cut after she plays this knight's move, I think. So if white would push and cut now, there's a net you can read on your own. White plays another knight's move like this. And it's basically going to be the same kind of treatment where black pushes through. But in this case, black would really like to cut. It would be really, really nice to get some kind of a surround on this white group. It just isn't quite possible as of yet. So Zhang Ying asks a question. Can you save that one stone in the corner? Runaiwei is like, yes, I just barely can. And Zhang Ying asks another question. Can you connect here? And Runaiwei is like, I'm sure I can. And finally, Zhang Ying goes for this move. It's a forcing move, which is very clear. Runaiwei absolutely must respond on this side and allow Zhang Ying to take the corner. If at any time here, she would have tried to push through like this move must be answered by this, or else it's contradictory. And white's this move, looking to connect, when black cuts, would separate these cutting stones, and white would definitely get enough initiative against these cutting stones to be able to save her group. Any capture race is won by white. This is just a clean and easy fighting. That's why Zhang Ying has to trade now. Allow this white group to run out and just take the corner. But was it bad? White has to continue saving her group. She still has a potential weak group there. She still has a weak group on the right side. This is actually pretty much ideal when you attack. If you attack something, you really aren't trying to kill it. You're just trying to somehow get something bigger than you're supposed to. And this is absolutely bigger than black is supposed to. Normally, if black would push and turn here, white would answer every time at d3. But you can see at this point, black has managed to take the next step into the corner, really securing their own base, and even this white group's base is a little insecure. Black simply jumps now, holding pressure against the white group, the whole white dragon here, and the white group on the right side. White decides to try to link up her two groups on the left and in the center, and black plays the attachment here. She's looking to defend her group in the center still, of course, but it smells a bit fishy. Normally, when we attack something, you should not attach to it. The reason why is very basic. If you play a simple attachment continuation where everybody extends, you'll notice that all of these groups are extremely strong. The white 4 stones, extremely well connected. The black 4 stones, extremely well connected. They're just solid, right? You often end up in that kind of a position after an attachment has been made. So when you attach like this, normally black means I defend my group and I give up on ever attacking your area here, but that's not really reasonable in such a situation. White should just be very, very happy that black is giving up on attacking these right side stones. So Runaiwei plays Hane. She's like, okay, you attach to me, then you can go ahead and take whatever space that you want in the center there. That's fine. I just want to have a very, very comfortable space for my own stones on the right side. And then Zhang Ying cut. I'm absolutely 100% sure this is Zhang Ying's initial plan. And that's why this stone is fishy. This one is just asking, hey, you want to Hane me? Hane is so efficient normally, and in this position especially, it's unbelievably efficient. If it just weren't for the cut. The cut can become a fight, and the fight is a little unclear. Maybe it can still be good for white, maybe not. Still, that's what Zhang Ying is aiming for when she plays this attachment. And to be honest, if I were playing, I would be like, that's too fishy for me, I just extend. I don't know whether it's better or not. I think they're pretty similar. Runaiwei prefers this position. But this position is actually a little hard to play, because the 2 black stones are definitely not capturable, even though white has the first move after the crosscut. Then white should focus on adding strength to one side or the other. If you defend this stone, though, it's going to be hard to then also defend that one, because this stone is going to have to save itself by running all the way through here, right? If you defend the stone on the outside, then it's hard to defend the inside stone. Then black is going to have defended themselves in the center so efficiently if they can just capture this one stone for free. So Runaiwei saves this one stone, and black pushes here, the strongest move, and Ruinaue plays in the center. She's greedy, she wants everything. But Zhang Ying had prepared for this, and she knew her plan was to jump here. This position looks like it should still be handleable for White. Like, White should be able to use the black weaknesses in the center, and through that very loose surround that black has on the right side, White should be able to save themselves and do something here. But it's much harder than I personally anticipated when I reviewed this game, and I think it's much harder than Ruinaue anticipated as well. Actually, it turns out this saving in the center is much too risky. It would have been better for White to simply focus on the right side and almost sacrifice that one stone in the center, maybe not directly, but not pay so much attention to it as of the moment. When it goes like this, White is in trouble. Even White could have tried a completely different way to handle this position, something like Atari here, and make the double tiger's mouth. Now, because black has so many weaknesses in this area, including that cut, black should answer here, and White could have simply saved her stones on the right side in a very well-connected fashion, like this. That shape is much less intuitive to play than the shape that Ruinaue chose in the game. This is normally the more effective way to do things. The problem is just that in this case, black challenges, you have to break out your group, or you have to do something with that group. What are you going to do? Ruinaue plays the best move. Atari here. Best move. Tiger's Mouth here. Black has so many weaknesses. There's one space jumps here, a myriad of weaknesses in that area. Black fixes the area with the most cuts. But still, there's so many cutting points over here. If White wants to capture race something of black's, they can. But they would just get cut here, and they don't really have that many liberties. So White chooses to play this move, trying to connect their groups, force by threatening to break out, threatening to capture these two stones, and after gaining the strength of this, if White can come back to strike in the center, it might just be game over. Black plays the Tiger's Mouth. It was a great move, absolutely fantastic to play the Tiger's Mouth here. The only move that takes a lead in the game. If you would defend the other ways, you wouldn't take a liberty from this White. That turns out to be very important. I think both players read out the capture race very cleanly here, because they continue by fighting a ko. Ruinaue is going to prepare ko threats, do some fancy business here, but did it have to be that ko? No, it didn't necessarily have to be that ko. White could have tried to play this move, then black would have to answer like this. White could have played this move, that's forcing through the one space jump here, and when White Hane is here, black should not dare to connect on this side, or they will suffer a very embarrassing ladder. So of course, black in practice would play here, and then White could cut. Not only is the White group on the right side surrounded, but the black group in the center is surrounded as well. And the question is, who's going to capture who? Who wins the capture race? It turns out in this capture race, black is going to win by one move. They can play here, they can play Atari, they can play filling a liberty, maybe filling a liberty on the side. However they play this, White, if they would throw in, we'll just have to fill a liberty. Anyway, you can play it like this, here, 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 black wins. It was critically important to play this Tiger's Mouth to be able to win the capture race like that. And that forced Ruinaue to simply save her group with this Aji of a ko. But Aji of a ko, I mean potential of a ko, it doesn't mean that she played the ko right away. Why not? She thought if she plays the ko right now, then black can find some ko threats. Let's play some random move that looks somewhat like a ko threat. I don't know, here. And then if White tries to play a ko threat, she thought when black wins the ko, it threatens to kill this whole group. So just capturing these two stones isn't big enough. Therefore, she wants to make the ko bigger. She plays here, and then starts the ko so that she can play this push as a ko threat and capture the whole 6 stones rather than just the 2. But she missed something very important. When she plays this ko and black plays a ko threat, it's not just any random ko threat. It was a tremendous move that Zhang Ying played just now. I think that Rui Naiwei completely missed it. Feel free to pause the video and see if you can find it. Zhang Ying played here. It is an exemplary local co-threat. This is why you have to be super, super, super careful when you read in co-variations. At this moment, if white would simply answer the co-threat, and she doesn't, she pushes through here, it's going to be a disaster. Because when now the co happens, she wanted to push through here as her co-threat and threaten to capture these 6, but when black wins the co, instead of winning and threatening to capture this area, she captures the stone here, playing an Atari on these 5 stones, which would save these 6 stones by capturing them. It was tremendous flexibility to play this move, not only co-threat by threatening to save the stones inside by double Atari, but also if white would connect, forcing them into a shortage of liberty that eliminates the co-threat that Rui Naiwei had wasted so much to set up. She threw in and played the Atari. These are not good exchanges to do if you can't use them directly. So Rui Naiwei has to simply walk back in shame, basically, by playing the push through and the push through again. Zhang Ying can capture 2 stones. Frankly, when I just look at this position, if you just show it to me, I think the game is over. And even I can kind of stand behind that in longer thoughts. Like the game still looks very over. Zhang Ying, you can tell how over she thought it was because she didn't even push here. This move is obviously better than just capturing there. If white would do that, then white can't save anything to kill these stones, and white is completely dead. So white needs to answer if black would push here, and then if you just capture like this, you just make a co-threat, or sorry, you don't make a co-threat, you make a cutting point on the top side for free for black. But she didn't do that. She just captured here because she thought, oh my god, this is so good. I won the game. Just saw a good move. Let's play it. I understand. I can do that sometimes too. When white still has to fix here, anyway, black can save herself in the corner, even though white can fix her cutting point on the outside. The game just looks totally over. Because this black, not only did it save itself very comfortably in Sente while white just saved themselves on Dame, it also gained so much potential territory in the center, and even it has a huge influence radiating towards the left and the top side of the board. It's just like everything that you could need to win a game of Go. So the game seems over. But it's never that over. The funny thing about Go, it's never quite that easy. White plays large knight move. Still, black is leading by like upwards of 15 points at this point. Black attaches here. She's like, yeah, I could save that stone, but also I can just like build something in the center here, like all my influence. I can just get territory there. I can just cut off your stones there. That looks so good. And even this is attacking the whole white group in the upper right corner, so white should take care of that. And black should take care of her own group. And white plays this cut here. This is just sort of pressing on black's nerves. She plays the Atari, sacrificing these 2 stones. That's not for any particularly good reason. It would have been completely fine to do this as well. It's just like is a little scary that this is going to come in Sente and you have to answer, but it's nothing special. You can just answer on this side if white would push through. Still, she plays this one, gives up the 2 stones. That's not a big deal anyway. Both sides are pretty valuable. And when white plays here, black cuts in the center. And when white hanes, black's like, yeah, I guess I could hane, but it looks like that might be just a tiny bit scary, like something might possibly go wrong, so I'll just jump. Don't even leave you a tiny little cut to use. And white's like, all right, fine, I'll just take the top side. And black's like, yeah, I have it. And white's like, can I have the whole top side? And black's like, no, that's too much. I'll just connect there. Look, I'm so solid. Isn't the game over? The game was supposed to be over. And white plays here. And black's like, yeah, okay, you have something in the corner, maybe something on the side, but the only way you can really win is if you get like the whole side or something. So let me just attach and walk in and reduce you. And white plays hane and descend here. And Rui Naiwei is saying, like, look at my corner. Now that I got this descend, the invasions on the upper left are not so easy anymore. And it looks like this is a really expansive territory. And Zhang Ying's like, yeah, whatever. I killed you for free in the center. Doesn't matter. I'll just take a base. As long as I don't die here, then the game is totally over. And she's still kind of right, but each of these little things which you give up, it's a concession, right? And so each one, even though it's just a little bit, here, there, it adds up. And Wei is starting to come back into this game, really. I mean, Zhang Ying still plays the best move, the knight's move there, making sure that she stays solid, but Wei finds the best move herself. This attachment in the corner is reducing the size of the black corner and also starting to look at attacking it. So black definitely needs to answer that a couple times, and Wei can be satisfied with her good end game. And then she presses in the center. She's like, hey, look at your stones over there. Now I'm quite strong in the bottom left, so I can look to attack you by building something of my own in the upper left, right? And black's like, yeah, I guess you can. So I'll just make sure I'm solid. And Wei plays here. She's like, can I live locally? Can I steal away your base? Black's like, no, I won't let you steal away my base. Again, it really wasn't right to play the descent here. It would have been better locally to play on the other side, to play some move like this or like this. It's bigger than the corner. And it would have been better globally, rather than doing some passive thing like that to just invade the upper left. It still is invadable, right? And we need to take advantage of that remaining weakness while it's still there. But Zhang Ying is not in the mood to do that. That's too risky. So when Wei asks to reduce the base again, Zhang Ying is just like, I'm absolutely sure that this shape is alive. I'm 100% sure this is going to be fine. If Wei would have been allowed to push and then connect, the black would have been dead locally. So I'll take my territory and move on with life. Thank you very much. Urunaiwei tries to extend and keep pressure on the black group in the left side, and I think a little bit out of fear for that group, she sees Zhang Ying only play a knight's move here. It's really unreasonable. You see this shape, you can easily play this or play this, and you have giga strength on the right side. There's no way that this wouldn't be easy to connect back. But Zhang Ying only plays this move, allowing, after an exchange, Ruinaiwei to block like this and actually take this territory, which could have just been reduced. This is just like a series of very small disasters. I mean, it's not like it was a big deal to answer the Hane in the corner, or to answer G2 directly, or to just play a couple solid moves playing over here, allow Wei to make some kind of big looking shape in the upper left, to allow Wei to potentially capture these two stones later, allow Wei to have something on the top side. Like, all of these things are just tiny. But originally, Zhang Ying was leading by like 20 points, and now it's only 5. Zhang Ying plays another slow connecting move in the center. Maybe not completely necessary. Maybe we could have saved this group on the side. Ruinaiwei plays here, and Zhang Ying plays another move on the top side. She says, it's time that I go to endgame. All of the groups are solid. Like, I've defended that one. I don't need to play the endgame in the center. That's at least good. A lot of players I know would have liked to just defend the center here. That's a really bad idea. Zhang Ying's better than that. She knows to play the endgame on the sides first, corners first, center later. But this move is the wrong direction. It's corners first, then sides, then center. And Ruinaiwei punishes it. At least at this point, okay, Wei is very strong. It's hard to invade. At least play here. At least play some kind of a move aimed at using the Aji that still exists in massive quantities in the upper left corner. But no, Zhang Ying only plays here. Allows Ruinaiwei to take this whole thing. It's not invadable after Wei has a second line stone like that. Zhang Ying can play another stone like that, but then she just defends in the center. The thing I said not to do. The transition to endgame here has just thrown away, has just vaporized so many points of Black's. Her lead is down to only 2. Just 2. Wei can push here, forcing move, looking to cut. Atari here, capture the 2 stones. It was really big, because it looks to potentially put pressure on this black group in the upper right. Black plays here. This is putting pressure on the whole white dragon there. So White asks for a base on the bottom. Black can capture a stone, and White finishes off by taking an eye proper. So looks like White will have an eye here and an eye on the side. Black plays the Hane in the corner. It's the biggest endgame remaining. White plays the attachment and connect here. It was also a very big endgame. Black plays the push and the push here. But these moves were slightly problematic because After this, there is a remaining very big endgame, the ko in the center. So this endgame is big, but these two were potential co-threats that black played. She will regret that. At this stage, she allows white to capture the one stone in the corner, so to connect on the first line. Those two were similar value, hard to say which one is better. And then finally captures a stone, makes a ko here, and blocks on the left side. At this point, we're going to fight a ko. This is a ko for about 9 points. It was understandable to block the side first. That looked very big, maybe bigger than a ko for 9 points, which you would typically expect to be 3 points per step. This is going to be the rest of the game. Who's going to win this ko? If white can win this ko, white can win. If black wins this ko, black can win. They're going to play their co-threats. They're going to try to play their co-threats, which don't lose any points. But this one loses a little bit. White could play on the outside when black played this outside hane, and this put white into a very small lead according to my AI. This is the moment. If black had, instead of playing this move as her co-threat, played some more stuff in the corner like this or crosscut, I don't know exactly what is going to give you the most co-threats, it wouldn't have allowed white to play a move which prevents the black push here, which gains a potential point on the side, to be sente. So this move can make co-threats, but it loses a point. It's not good. Black continues the ko. Still, if black can win the ko, they win. If white can win the ko, they should win. So you can argue it can make sense for black to have played there, because she now is going to have so many co-threats looking to live in the upper left corner of the board. Wait, must Atari there first. You can see white using all sorts of black cutting points, trying to ask about all of these different black groups that black must save that are going to be bigger than 3 points. Eventually, white gets this move in sente. Much earlier in the game, it would have been black's forcing move to play there, but because of the way this ko turned out, it was never black's right. Instead, it was white's right. A little bit painful. Still, the game goes on. White is pushing through random places, pressing that, pressing these cuts, etc. This push, actually, though, it does lose some co-threat here. In exchange, it makes a co-threat of white's push here. Still, black is going to have to answer that, and this allows white to push in a little bit to the black center. So it was worth it, although it gave black a co-threat or two in the white upper left corner. White plays here as well. Very sensible. Black still is looking to live in that upper left corner, or, well, at least play co-threats to try to live. And here, white pushes through here. This is the critical point, because at this moment, black simply must capture the ko. It captures 4 stones and 1 more point here. If white would have won the ko, then white would be able to connect here in sente. You would see that black would have 0 points like that. That's why I can call this ko a 9-point ko. You may wonder why white did not play another co-threat. They do have a couple. They have one here, they have one here, they have one here. All sorts of co-threats white could have played to try to win this ko. But instead, they played this one, which wasn't big enough. Why did white only push through here? Because this was the only co-threat she had left, which didn't lose anything. Those other co-threats I pointed out, they are not the correct endgame. The co-threats that so far Runawe has played have not lost any points. At this moment, she says, hey, black really does have enough co-threats to try to win this ko, so I'm going to back off before I do anything too rash that loses anything in the endgame. And it was a good decision. Although black wins this ko now, since white managed to trade it for something that was still quite big, the original move that white played was an endgame move, and then this follow-up gains basically 4 points, because white is going to usually, as their right, be able to push through and force black to just answer, lose these 4 points that they could have by simply blocking on the first line. This trade still gives white a small edge in the game. As we go into the 1-point, 2-point endgame phase, black captures this stone that was not just the 2 points, but also creates a cut in the white shape. that white will be forced to answer to later. White plays this move. That prevents black from squeezing here, then playing a cut and taking 1 point in Sente as white is forced to throw in another stone to their own territory. Basically a 2-point move. Black plays the 2-point move here, reducing white's territory 1, and then additionally building their own territory by 1. And white plays this move, which was their right, plays this 2-point move. Black plays this move, similar type of value. And black captures this 1 stone at this point. White plays the push. It's just a 1-point corridor, you can think, but black needs to make sure they're solidly alive, so they definitely should block. And when white plays here, looking for another 1-point Sente, black ignores. Playing this descent is looking to play an Atari in the corner later. That could be 1-point Sente for black, but white does not just answer, but goes for their own aggressive 1-point gain. Black connects like this. If they would allow white to capture, white would gain a point in the capture, black would lose a point, and white would additionally get this move, gaining a point in Sente. So that's definitely worth to answer. Then white answered here. Both pushes from black, the push through here and the Atari here, white was going to treat as Sente. So she answers this one because she says, hey, if black pushes on this point, I'll try to ignore that. That's the only one which white can leave a second and take the last remaining big move, the last remaining 1 point blocking a corridor. But it leaves this huge ko still on the board. White is trusting that they can win this ko. They've counted the number of ko threats they believe that they can win. So here are the ko threats. That one was forcing. Black played a forcing move there. White played a cut here. That's forcing. Black played this move. That's forcing, looking to capture those. White played this move. That's forcing. Black has this one from way earlier. That's forcing. White has this one. That's also a bigger ko than the upper right. So black must answer. The winning move. Zhang Ying plays here. Rui Naiwei couldn't expect this move because it loses points. But even though this move allows white to Atari and gain a potential 3rd point in Sente, or really 2/3 points in Sente, at this point, Rui Naiwei has run out of threats. She doesn't have anything left to play that really threaten black. All she can do is cut here, but when black captures in the upper right corner, there was no special trick. She can only fill a liberty, allow black to descend to the first line here, try to capture back, but black simply connects. And because black found the ko threat that loses a little bit of value, very rare in professional play, to play that, especially in an endgame over just a small ko like this one, because that happened, black not only captured a stone and connected, but removed the 2 potential white points if white would connect here in the upper right. And white's compensation here, basically 2/3 of a point in ko, because of the way that the upper right shape shakes out, that will naturally pay off by black's captured stuns. So ultimately, although white was supposed to win this game by half a point, if she had simply just connected instead of starting the ko by playing here, black managed to reverse it at the very, very end of the game, gain 2 points with that final ko, and with his final losing ko threat to win the game, Zhang Ying defeats Rui Naiwei, possibly the greatest woman player of all time, in 2021, about 20 years after she was at her prime. So is she that bad? Is Zhang Ying that bad? There's a meme 216 about Zhang Ying's league performance in here. She's not a bad player. She's a professional level player and quite a skilled one. She's not the most skilled professional level player, probably not even top half. Definitely not even top half. But she still has the power to take wins over the likes of Rui Naiwei. Congratulations to her for winning the Goddess Tournament, Goddess Contest by Hufu. If you want to see her stream, I have a link to it in the description. I hope you guys come back next time to enjoy some more wonderful, wonderful Go. Toodaloo.